There we go. Okay, go live. Go share my screen. Oops, wrong screen. And we want screen. There we go. You want that one. There we go. All right. Stream is live. We're here. We're here, folks. We're not sure why we're here, but we're here.
Because it's too cold to go out and play.
It is a little miserable out there. It's not raining at the moment.
It's out of the rain, but it's not raining, so now it's just miserable.
Mm-hmm. It's damp. It's damp. But
and cold.
Yeah, it's just the way it all goes. La-ti-da, 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 da-da-da-da. Well, according to this, I have an excellent connection. That's all working. We got a recording device happening. Recording is happening. I took the time to fix the sound on it, so it should sound a lot more silent.
That's good.
The end of the show that gets recorded and sent out to everybody. All right. And our numbers have been growing for listeners.
Yay. More people to talk the ear off of.
Yep. That it is. Thought to be. We want that. We want that up. We want that up. We want that up. And I need that up. There we go. That's it. That's everything going here. All right. So all of that's working. We got lots and lots of things happening. Oops. Wrong button. We're slowly eliminating.
Glitch.
The glitches are slowly being tamed.
Slowly,
all under
step by step.
Reorganizing things. After all, we are in Mercury retrograde. It's the time to look back over and clean things up and get them all organized. Rethink things. Yep. Prepare for when it goes direct. Well, when Mercury goes direct, almost all the planets go direct at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking up all the different planets were in retrograde. A whole lot of planets were in retrograde.
Huh.
And a lot of them go direct in October or November. Is it November? No, October, November. I don't remember. I've looked the date up again. I forget.
I thought they all did retrograde and forward all at different times. Having them all
do
it at once. I
they
wonder
do
what kind
times.
of effect that has on us.
It's the sync, man. You got to remember cycles and syncs.
Mm-hmm.
Cycles and syncs. When you have lots of different cycles, every once in a while the cycles sync up together.
Yeah, like when you're waiting in traffic and your turning signal matches up with the turn signal in front of you for a couple clicks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything eventually syncs.
Yeah, everything syncs up. If even for a little bit, it all syncs up. All syncs up.
But I wonder
and gets
what
going
kind
together.
of effect this is having on people, having everything in sync. I wonder if it's positive or negative.
Well, that all depends, Depends on what you believe in, because, there's many people that believe, the planets have no impact on us whatsoever. There's people that believe the moon has no impact on us.
Yeah. Well, anyone who's lived on a coast or on an island for any period of time is well aware of the impact of the moon on us.
Mm-hmm.
And because the moon has an impact on the water has an impact on us.
Mm-hmm. Well, the moon drags it. There's two major influences on our particular planet. One's the sun, the other's the moon.
Yes.
And then beyond that is the other planets. The other planets have an influence on ours because all the gravitational fields of the solar system interact with each other.
I wonder if you could use that as an argument. People who say that planets have no effect, look at them and say, well, do you get sunburned by the sun?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that might actually work. You never know. Somehow I doubt it, though. We got to move this there. There we go. Get that microphone working in a better spot. Let's see. What's my volumes like? Yeah, they're not too bad. I don't have as much control here. I have to save myself some money and buy another mixing board. That's it. We need donations for a new mixing board.
That'd be awesome.
I think I bought the first one with donations. When people
the
were
mixing
actually
board. Oh, sorry.
When people were actually donating to the show, I bought a lot of equipment when people were donating to the show.
Oh, cool. The mixing board that you passed me, turns out it does not work. The reason it was in the closet was because it's one of those items that it's broken in such a way that it could be fixed if you are bothered enough to actually take it apart and fix whatever's going on.
Well,
so
can't
that's why
do
that one
much
was in the
there.
closet.
I can't do much there.
Nope. But it's funny because it was working great, and then all of a sudden it was just this terrible staticky noise, and it appears and then it vanishes, and there's no pattern to it, no reason for it.
It's got a ground. It's got a ground short error on the internal. You'd have to open it up and find the ground and fix the ground.
Oh, so that's what's causing that.
Static loops or static noises are usually a ground loop error, and it usually means that there's no ground for the item, or it's got a bad ground.
Good to know.
And you get the same thing when you use cheap cables, because their ground shielding is so piss poor. They pick up all the noise from the electromagnetic noise from wires. Like, one of the worst things anyone can do is, if you're running sound, is run the cables parallel to each other. That's one of the because the magnetic field that's being produced, because you got a magnetic field being produced by that cable. You know, and what those magnetic fields, when they're parallel to each other, they become one big magnetic field. But if you cross them, it causes the magnetic fields to break up.
Oh, so that's why most of the cables that go through cars have like this mesh Faraday cage around them.
Well, yeah, the mesh Faraday cage helps protect them from other ground errors.
Okay, so you could really just make your own little mesh Faraday cage for all of your cables.
Yeah, but you don't want to run them parallel. You still got to make them twist. All right, well, that's it. With that being said, it's time for a little good music, bad singing, and off to showtime.
Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Preacher man discovered, passed down from saint to sage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Crossroads, sitting doing time. Junkie and the jigger, just seen who done the crime. Captain pulled the trigger, guess who's doing time? They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, is he yours or is he mine?
Definitely mine.
crossroads, sitting doing time. Devil's at a crossroads, Joker's doing fine. Just sitting doing time.
It's it. It's showtime. I think it's time we wind this puppy up and get it off the ground. Off we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress plugins A to Z, not Z.
Time to fall for some WordPress plugins. Halloween is upon us. It's episode 530, and we have plugins for Saints, page builders, admin tours, landing pages, donations, and ClassicPress options, all coming up on WordPress plugins from A to Z. WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress plugins from A to Z. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the oasis deep in the heart of the Cowichan Valley. I'm John Overall, and with me is the ever lovely
Amber Overall.
And we have the usual great show for you today. Of course, a couple of things. The season of change is upon us once again, folks. Before I get started too far, don't forget to hang around to the end of the show for the Q&A segment with Amber. And for those of you listening to the podcast, remember, we split that in two parts. One part stays with the podcast. The other goes on to the YouTube version of the show. So you'll have to go to the YouTube version to catch the other half of it. Make sure you check all that out, and it's time for me.
Thank you for sharing, John. Now get down from that soapbox.
Yep, definitely need to get that clip and just record it on my phone so I can randomly play it at you. This is number 37 of 52 episodes for 2021. So I was looking at these numbers and I realized if you add the numbers 37, 52, and 2021, you get 4, which I thought was pretty neat because we are heading into the 4th season of the year. I also noticed today that this is episode 530 and today is September 30th.
Yep.
Lots of number fun today.
Lots of number fun today. Hey, one day we might even manage to pull it all together and use it for promotions and donations.
Hey, that's an idea. Sounds like a lot of work, though.
It is a lot of work. Somebody's got to do it, though.
Well, I'm hoping that everyone out there is all prepped up for winter by now. I mean, I know it's still fall, but in Canada and over here on the island, we should be looking at pulling out our rubber boots, pulling out our winter coats. Here on the island, pull out the umbrellas and the rain jackets. Make sure that those nice heavy sweaters are all ready to go for when you get up in the morning and it is freaking cold. And remember also to pull yourself off the social media for at least an hour a day. Get the kids off there too before they start like looking around trying to start their Christmas list already. I mean, we haven't even made it past Halloween yet, but I already had one of my kids go, "Oh, this is so cool. What about Christmas?" It's like, no, it's not even Halloween yet. Not until December. And I just had a brain fart. Yay. Maybe I haven't had enough caffeine yet. Hopefully everyone is ready for the upcoming winter and you all take a break at least for an hour every day for your mental health. Rinse and repeat as often as needed.
Absolutely. All right, it's time to...
Please, can everybody be quiet? Please be quiet. Shut up! Thank you. And now the WordPress news with John Overall.
And Amber.
So the first thing I've got here is a web font API possibly coming to WordPress. This is a proposal that would allow developers to register fonts from local files or style sheets URL, like those provided by Google Fonts or other third-party APIs, only this would be directly in the WordPress core. So it's definitely an exciting prospect for WordPress if it goes through.
Well, that would make life easier for people. I know loading fonts into websites is a big pain in the neck right now.
Yeah, so this could be pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's actually kind of nice.
The next one I have up here is Keenan Copenhaver has acquired WP Pusher and Branch. So for those who use WP Pusher, be aware there may be changes coming in the near future. Hopefully any changes that come along will be positive changes, but just keep an eye on it. Be aware that changes may happen without you being forewarned.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. I don't know. There's a lot of acquisitions going on in the WordPress sphere right now.
There really is.
There was a thought going around. I think it was Mayana put it out there that to wait their acquisition, they're going to do like so many other industries. We're going to be down to like 6 major companies owning everything under WordPress.
Yeah, probably.
That won't be good for that. That won't be good for innovation. We've already discovered through other industries that when there's a small handful that owns it, innovation dies.
Yeah. The next one I have is also an acquisition. Awesome Motive acquires Sandhills Development. So for those who are using Awesome Motive plugin, I had that backwards. Sorry. So for those who are working with Sandhills Development, you should be aware.
Yep.
And if you do read the article,
oh wow,
so you can get a better idea.
They acquired Easy Digital Downloads, Affiliate WP, WP Simple Pay, Sugar Calendar, WP Simple Pay, and Payout Service.
Yep.
Okay, so they've acquired all those. Those used to be, I can't remember his name now. Pippin's plugins. Well, hopefully they do well. Yeah, hopefully. I remember seeing this one there. Pippin, he confesses he's getting out of this industry. It sounds like because he's lost his passion for WordPress and the web. But Pippin he produced a lot of WordPress plugins, and his plugins were always really, really good. It's going to be a loss to the WordPress industry to have him drop out of it. But that's a smart move on his part, selling off the plugins and cashing out. Very smart move on his part. If you've lost your passion and you want to get out, man, and you've got stuff worth selling, sell it and move on to something else. Always a good thing. All right.
Next one up is Dropbox drops a new screen and video capture tool, which I thought was actually pretty cool.
I've seen this.
Mm-hmm. So you can actually take screen and video capture within Dropbox and share it.
Yeah. I don't know. Dropbox is not the easiest in sharing things that I've noticed sometimes, so I'm wondering how easy it'll be to share. It's like I use a different tool for my screen captures and video captures, and it just gives me a link that I then pop out. It's really simple and easy. Dropbox is, I don't know. I've never had easy time sharing in Dropbox, so I saw that and thought, well, it's a good idea, but I don't know. Let's see how it works. The one nice thing about it is if you can create very long videos and you actually store them in your own Dropbox, you could use it for creating training videos and other things.
Hey, that's an idea.
So it could have some advantages to do things. I just don't know about the sharing aspect of it because Dropbox, while it works for sharing, it's just not always the easiest thing for sharing. I mean, I'm
not the one who shares everything in Dropbox, so I haven't really had much experience.
Well, I do because I've been using Dropbox since before they went public. When Dropbox is brand new, I was one of the people sharing out. Hey, get this Dropbox so I can get another gig of storage space on mine. I think I'd acquired like 20 gigs of storage space from all the people I shared it with who signed up for an account. So. And I've been using Dropbox ever since. I've got a legacy account with them. Nice of them to honor their legacy accounts too.
It is. Oh, that's something to keep an eye on. Try testing out. Maybe we can give a review on it later.
It could be a very useful thing. All right. So, next up.
Next up is Twitter fell off the bandwagon for a few hours. So the issue is dealt with within a few hours. Twitter still went down, and it had a massive impact on lots of people and many businesses.
Did they bring back the Twitter fail whale?
The what?
The Twitter fail whale. You might not know it. When Twitter was first introduced, it wasn't uncommon for it to be down several times a day, and then they would just put up this big giant blue whale on their website that says, "I'm sorry, we failed. It's the Twitter fail whale."
All right.
So their site was down. They didn't fall off the bandwagon. Their site crashed.
No,
And
that's kind of the image I had, was that they crashed. But
yeah.
poor choice of words on my part. Apologies.
Yeah,
But,
well, I'm thinking fell off the bandwagon. Fell off what bandwagon? The bandwagon I'm thinking is, because a bandwagon is when you get a bunch of people walking down the street all hollering the same slogan together. Or, some drunkard who's gotten on the bandwagon and he's no longer drinking. That's a joke.
Okay,
I
well,
mean.
when I hear that
Yeah.
phrase, I always picture everything coming crashing down. So I
Oh,
guess
okay.
I've just had a different understanding.
Okay. Yeah, well, Twitter was down. Yeah, I didn't notice.
Nor
Tells
did
you-
I. But
tells you how much I miss Twitter. I use Twitter.
What went through my mind when I read this was a lot of people that I've spoken to over the years, they use Twitter and Facebook in order to get their business or their site or what have you out there.
Yeah.
And that's really it. And what went through my mind was things like this happen, and it's possible for both Twitter and Facebook to go down both at once.
Yep.
So maybe if you're only using Twitter because you're just starting out, try getting all of the places.
Yep,
There's hundreds
absolutely.
of places to get yourself out there.
Absolutely. Alrighty. We got a couple more here
Next-
for you. What do we got?
Report highlights cybersecurity dangers of elastic stack implementation mistakes. So
Okay.
this was an interesting article. What happened is the researchers' SALT security group discovered issues that allowed them to not only launch attacks where any user could extract sensitive customer and system data, but also allowed any user to create a denial of service condition that would render the system unavailable. So this is an issue that's been found in Elastic, so good thing to know about. I can't really think of anything else to say.
That's okay. Go with it, because I know nothing about Elastic, so it's what holds my underwear up.
I've come across Elastic a few times here and there. It seems to be something that is actually pretty popular, so I just figured it'd be good for anyone who uses it.
Yep.
The last one I have here is this is actually kind of an entertaining one. Amazon tells Tesla to hold its beer in contest for stupidest robot ever built.
Okay.
That's actually the label of this. Essentially, it's a little robot that you can do FaceTime on and that you can have deliver things to you. And essentially, it's a major data collection thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, anything like that's a major data collection thing. That must be the one I saw.
Yeah.
That, if you pet it, it smiles like a kitty cat or something.
It does.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Yeah.
And it's also really creepy in my mind because
It is.
they're affiliated with all kinds of groups that you don't really want to have a full view of absolutely everything you say and do in your house, man.
No, many people already have those in there. I mean, after all, they've got their Alexas and their other snooping devices. Alrighty. Well, what do we got for extras here today? So we move along.
A whole lot of extras. WooCommerce marks 1 year anniversary of forking Jigo Shop. Beethoven never finished his 10th symphony. Computer scientists just did. I thought that was pretty cool. Researchers discover bypass bug in iPhone, Apple Pay, Visa to make contactless payments. That might be something you want to check out if that is something you use for your business or personally.
Yep.
US and EU cooperate on tech standards, supply chain security, and tech development, which could be very good news for people who are still waiting in line to get certain tech bits that they've been waiting for.
Yep.
So there's a lot more there. That's just the main ones.
Very nice. All right. Well, let's wander in to talk about all the people who support the show with their time, talent, or treasure.
It's time to donate to WP Plugins A to Z.
All right. Well, this is the segment of the show. Since it's right off the top, we like to acknowledge the producers of our show, those that provide time, talent, or treasure for the show. And we like to acknowledge those that support us with cash or time or talent via the artwork. And we usually like to start with the artwork. And this week here, the artwork we've got comes to us from Greg's Graphics. At gregsgraphics.com. It's a really nice piece of artwork this week. He's got a couple more ready in our queue for us that we can look at. But this week here, it's a nice Halloweeny piece of artwork. Really kind of cool. I like it. Nice and simple. I like the playing with the greens and the purples on it. It's really neat. Really changes it up. You know, made the logo all orange and all orangey and pumpkiny. You know. Halloweeny. It's all Halloweeny as we hit the last day of September and we're going into the month of October, moving into the new year. So again, thanks a lot to Greg at Greg's Graphics. I really appreciate the artwork. It's nice to have some really good artwork, and the fact that I don't have to do the artwork because I'm not very good at it. I can do it, but I'm not overly good at it. Anyway, thanks a lot.
I really like this picture.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. It's just sort of relaxing sitting there. So thank you very much. Make sure you go check out his stuff over at gregsgraphics.com. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, and you can also link in the show notes to go check out all the artwork that's been submitted to the show. We've got quite a bit of artwork in there, and eventually we'll get all the rest of the old artwork in there and have that gallery complete. We do also like to thank those that celebrate the show with, support the show with their treasure. You know, those that donate to the show. We do offer up an executive producer credit for anyone who donates $50 or more to the show. You get an executive producer credit, and you know it read out on the air, links to wherever you want it to go. Hey, it's great. It's great advertising. You know, bill it as advertising for your company. Always a good plan. At any rate, we don't have any executive producers, but we do have some small producers of the show that donate just a few bucks here and there, a couple of bucks a month, a couple of bucks a week. You know, every teeny little bit helps. It's really kind of nice to know that people acknowledge it. And there are those of you who hire us because you've been listening to the show, so thank you very much. We do appreciate that. And as for time goes, well, we'll talk about the time part of it when we get down to the later segment of this show. At any rate, that's all that. It is time for us to head into what everyone shows up to the show for. It's time to jump into the depths of plugin depravity. All right, first off, ClassicPress options. We don't really have anything this week, nothing that I was made aware of anyway, so we'll just let you know we're still trying to pay attention to ClassicPress. When I get a chance to work on it again, I will, and we'll bring more stuff to the table. I know it's slowly moving forward again, which is nice. But as far as WordPress plugins, I do have a couple of them here today. First one I've got for you is Saint of the Day. This is an interesting plugin. If you're Catholic or you like all the different saints out there, this is a plugin that displays a saint for whatever day of the year it is using the U.S. Catholic version of the saints. You just install the plugin, activate it, dump in a short code, and then it comes up with a description of the saint and a whole bunch of other information. If you use their additional plugin, their liturgical day of the week plugin, it'll also add some colors to it for you, for whatever color of the day it is, depending upon the Catholic calendar. So it's kind of a neat tool. If you're building out a website where that's something useful, you've got a church website or a Catholic website, I just thought it was a cool, interesting little plugin that could make a little bit of added interest to your site by bringing in the different saints. There's a lot of Catholic saints out there. So you might want to go check this one out. It's called Saint of the Day, and I give it a 4 dragon rating.
I like that idea. It's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. First one I've got is Landing Page Builder Free Landing Page Template. And this one I didn't like it. It was not cool. It's supposed to make building a landing page way easier, and I mean you can build a landing page, no problem. It's a little odd. You have to use one of their templates. You cannot create your own. And then you can't keep anything where you are wanting on the page except for whatever styling you got going in your header and footer. So what happens is you upload the template, And it doesn't actually take on any attributes of your site when you tell it to take on the attributes. It doesn't keep your font. It doesn't keep anything really except for your header and footer. It gives you mixed signals there. And then you only get to choose from 2 options in the free version for the templates, which they're both the same, except one has a larger background picture for your header. And then when you go to use a landing page, it goes up as you made it, but there's no sidebars allowed, no additions allowed. You can't customize it in any way. You have to use whatever they give you. It's like what they do is they give you the sections that you fill out, and you get to choose from basic colors, and the font is whatever the font is. It's really not cool. And something that was really interesting is if you set it as your homepage, even if your page is under construction or is blocked to the wide world, like my sandbox one is, anyone can find you once you set it as your homepage. I was able to have my mom in the USA visit and view the homepage that I created in this, so long as it was my homepage, even though nobody's supposed to be able to get to that unless they sign in. But then as soon as I took it down, she had blocked access again. So that was a weird one. I don't know if the pro version is any better, but I mean, at least go check it out before you spend any money. I really didn't like this. It also really slows down your browser when you're trying to set everything up. I had to reset my modem to get things moving at normal pace again.
Wow.
I rate this at 2 dragons.
Sounds like that one earned it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the next one I've got here for you is called Admin Tour. Now, if you've been building websites for any length of time, you build them for clients and whatnot, and you turn them over to them, they start asking you questions. Well, how does this work in the back end? How does that work in the back end? Well, you can eliminate that problem with this plugin. Now, granted, this plugin is going to take you a little bit of work to get it all fully set up. It comes with a default tour, which is very simple and straightforward, but you can go in and customize a tour with all the different things you want. You just have to actually go in and write a filter code for it to tell it what the different steps are for the tour to go through. And you can explain all the different items in there for your customers, your users, or whoever wants to see the administration area of the website. I thought, for some people, this would be a really great tool to help them out when they build out even a slightly complicated website, just to point out the things to their clients so that they don't have to. Now, the other nice thing is, even after the tour runs, they can restart that tour anytime they want manually. So it is a very useful item, and it's a really good tool to add when you're developing sites for others and you just want to turn it over to them and not have to answer a lot of questions over and over again. You can just put it all in and be done with it. Have it done once. At any rate, I thought it was a great tool, something that everyone could use, or not everyone, but developers could use. And it is free. You just got to do some work, so go check it out. I give it a 5 dragon rating. It's called the Admin Tour.
That's a bloody brilliant plugin.
Yeah.
The next one I have up is a very long name one. Landing Page Builder, Lead Page, Opt-in Page, Squeeze Page, WordPress Landing Page. So this is another landing page plugin, and it reminds me a lot of Divi editing. They tell you that you have the option to edit the page within their own editors. Like, say you have a page or a post that you want to turn into your landing page. So you press edit, but then when you try to when you try to press edit, what happens is it seems to simply delete whatever you've already put down into this page or post, and you have to start it from scratch. Yep. So it doesn't actually do what it suggested does, which kind of bugged me. As I said, it's a lot like Divi, the way that it's set up, the way that things work, the layout and everything. And I don't like Divi very much, but it doesn't have the same kind of glitches as Divi. It's just the same kind of idea, layout, setup, usage. The free version gives you loads of templates to choose from, as well as a blank page, which I like that a lot. You also have access to loads of easy-to-use widgets for their editor area.
Nice.
I mean, I like this one. It's fairly easy to use, simple to figure out. Their free version is pretty awesome, so I would assume that their pro version is pretty nifty as well. I rate it at 4 dragons.
Very cool. All right. Go check that one out. All right. Final one I've got for you here. This is just a nice, simple, straightforward plugin. Figured since it's a brand new plugin, maybe we'll give them a little bit of a plug. It is another plugin to help you collect donations on your website. So if you're working on a website and you're doing things where you're working on the value for value model, you want people to donate to you, support your show, you're looking for a simple way to do it, that's what this plugin will do. It's nice and simple, straightforward. You install it, you activate it, it creates a little link for you, a short code that you drop into a page, and people can donate to your show via whatever payment gateway you've chosen that they have available. Now they've got quite a few available at the moment. Payment methods they accept, they're dealing with PayPal Standard, Paystack, GladPay, Flutterwave, and they got more, such as Stripe and GPay, etc., are coming along the line soon. So, but PayPal is a pretty common one for many people. So anyway, it's just a nice, simple, straightforward donation plugin to add a quick donation link to your website that people just click the button, go to PayPal and pay. Go check this one out. It's called Donate to Website, and I give it a 4 dragon rating.
Nice. Always good to have simple things like that.
Wow, that was interesting. Hang on a sec. Talk for a second there. You suddenly spiked in volume.
Oh, weird. I wonder why. Maybe it
Yeah.
has to do with my pitch of voice?
No. Okay, I'm just making sure that the computer didn't pick up your spike in volume in the recording. No, it's just my
Okay.
headphones or something. I don't know what it is. All right, go ahead.
The last one I've got is Nimble Page Builder. So this is also a landing page builder, but I really like this one, and it's very interesting. You go into your theme settings with this plugin. So when you go to build it, it takes you directly to your theme, and you create your landing page right there. You can choose any page to create your landing page with Nimble, and the free version gives you a few templates to work off of as well. And they're not all identical. They're actually different and nice. And really, the way that this one is set up reminds me a lot of Elementor, the way that it's laid out and the way that it works. You have to shuffle between quite a few menu options on the left-hand side before you actually get to where you want to be. But then once you're in there, all you have to do is click on the different sections or on a widget, and it'll automatically flip the menu for you, so you don't have to do it manually once you get going. You can add sections by pressing the little plus button or by actually using the widget that it gives you. It's really cool. And you can also, say you built something and you don't like it or you're just testing it out, if you go into the options under the general settings of this plugin, you have the option to remove all Nimble data. It double checks to make sure you want to remove everything, but it actually removes everything for you, so it all goes back to the way it was. Which I really like that, because I was just testing it. And this way you don't actually have to go in and delete the page manually. It deletes everything that you did with Nimble automatically for you.
Yep.
I also really like this one because when I checked out their Pro, they actually have lifetime licenses too, either for a single site or unlimited sites, which I thought was really cool.
That's very nice.
And even though this one has a Pro version, I'm still giving it 5 dragons. It was just that cool.
Alrighty then. Too cool. We'll have to check that one out for what we're doing. All right.
Yep.
Well, this is the point in the show where we often will wander into if we've got listener feedback or other things, but we don't have listener feedback or questions. But we do still have a contest.
It's a contest. WordPress plugins from A to Z.
All right, and we do have a contest here. We do have entries for this contest, which is good, but we're running this until next Wednesday. The contest will run through till next Wednesday, and then for next Thursday's show, we will have a winner for the contest. That is the never-ending contest. Anyway, our contests are powered by the Simple Giveaways plugin, since we haven't mentioned them in a while. And this is a plugin which runs our contests. And they were kind enough to provide us with this plugin. It's a very nice plugin. I've been using it since it was first introduced. I discovered it brand new and newly released, and it was perfect for the contest. And they've been improving this plugin ever since, making it better and better. So if you need a plugin to run contests on your website, I highly recommend Simple Giveaways plugin. So anyway, back to our contest for today is with the Codexer deposits for WooCommerce, and it is a single domain lifetime license. And this is a plugin that will allow you, if you're running a WooCommerce site, to take deposits on products or sales. And this is great for people who have someone order something that has to be built, or they order something and you're letting them pay part of it up front and then pay the part of it later once everything's assembled. Whatever method needed, but whatever reason you have for making deposits, this is a plugin to allow you to take those deposits nice and easy. Hold that invoice open, show that the deposit's been made, making it easier on your dealing with the bookkeeping of this stuff. So really great plugin, well worth the money, especially if you win it here, and allow you to get things done. So go check it out. It's really great. If you haven't entered the contest, go enter the contest. Even if you don't think you're going to use it now, maybe you might need it later down the road. Whatever reason, just enter the contest, folks. We don't send you a bunch of spam when we collect your email address. We're lucky lately if we get you out the once-a-week newsletter. So hey, it's all good. At any rate, check out the contest for us. All right, so we want to close out a couple of things here before we move on to Q&A segment. I covered up the following plugins in this show. Donate to Website, which I rated at a 4. The Admin Tour, which I rated at a 5. And the Saint of the Day, which obviously I'm a Saint of the Day, which I gave a 4.
And I covered Landing Page Builder, free landing page templates, which I rated at 2. Landing Page Builder, Lead Page, Opt-in Page, Squeeze Page, WordPress Landing Page, which I rated at 4. And Nimble Page Builder, which I gave a 5.
All right, a couple of quick reminders. Hey, if you're not getting enough of Amber and I, you can come join us for our live stream at the Rogues Tavern. And it's every Tuesday evening at 8. Link is in the show notes to go find it. All right, this is where we move on to the entertainment.
It's question and answer time.
What, Amber?
So if anyone out there has any questions that they'd like to have asked on the show, send them in to me at amber@wppro.ca, and I'll get them up here and answer to the best of mine and my dad's ability. First, though, I just wanted to say something about Hemdian was saying that his WordPress site has had a flurry of fake users sign up recently. Even though I don't have sign up visible and had anyone can register toggled off. I've had to A, move the login page using WPS hide login, B, require admin approval via new user approve, and C, took full backup of my site. Also check the new user default role was set to subscriber, not administrator.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That does happen. And in our scripts, and yes, they found a flaw in there. You know, double check that you don't have another plugin that allows sign up somewhere. I can't remember it, but I have seen that happen to sites. Suddenly, a whole pile of new users are signing up, and you think everything's turned off, and it's a real pain in the neck. Yeah, there is a code way, if I can remember correctly. There's a code way you can drop it into your config file to prevent any kind of user sign up period. I don't know the code. You'd have to dig it up. I remember seeing it years ago. So it does exist somewhere. But that's no good if you're going to run a membership site. But yeah, that's always a drag. But hey, those are a couple of nice plugins that we should check out. Well, the move login plate, the WP hide, I've covered way in the past. The require admin approval, I've never seen that plugin before. And of course, taking a backup of your site, that should be done regularly anyway. All right, so you've got a couple of quick questions here. What do we got today?
My first question is, how do search engines work?
Magic. Is there any other answer to that? No. I honestly, I have a vague notion of it. This has been about 10 years ago. I started to write my own search bot, and then I got sidetracked and I never got back to it. So it's basically search engines work, to my knowledge, and I'm sure that a lot of people are going to correct me because I'm going to get this all so bloody wrong. But what it is they start out looking for, you send them to one website and it goes, okay, find all the links on this website and just follow them wherever they go. And on every website after that, keep following the links. I mean, the original Google was like that. And it determined the page ranking depended upon how many links pointed back to a website. It's like if you were going to, say, website A, B, and C, and you started at A and it pointed you to B and not C, and you'd go to C or B, and then B would point back to A, but B also pointed to C, and then C pointed back to A. That means A was the most popular site. So basically they go out and they follow all the links on the web everywhere they go. The problem is the web has become so polluted now that a lot of links are poisonous links. It's like trying to cross through a swamp that the oil companies have been dumping their slag into. There's still going to be some clean pools, but there's going to be some awful filthy pools too. So it's like they just go from place to place to place searching out the links, and I don't know how their algorithms work anymore, but we'll get to that. You've got that one there. So yeah, that's the basics of search engine is they just follow from link to link to link. And when you do a search, they look at keywords, the keywords that are attached to the links. Well, that's what it used to be anyway. It was the keywords attached to the links. And it said if you were searching for houses and there were 100 links that pointed to houses, then 100 links that all pointed to one site that the link had house in it, that was what it was. That's the simplified version of it. It goes much more complex than that. But yeah, that's basically what my knowledge of it. And I'm sure there's a dozen people out there that can correct me.
My next question is, cookies remember where you have been. Do they track you, or do they just leave bookmarks for your computer to open up to on the net? Like you go back to that site and you don't have to re-sign in or something. It's kind of like a bookmark on a site.
It's kind of like a bookmark. Cookies remember where you've been, but they do track you because there's cookies written to track you. It's like if you looked up the number of cookies delivered to your website, to your browser from any given website, you'd find that most websites, even my website, kicks out a dozen cookies when somebody hits the website. And the cookies do different things. Each cookie does different things. One cookie goes, hey, computer, tell me what you are, what kind of computer you are, what browser you are, what screen size you're using. And the computer goes, oh, okay, here, I don't care. That's one cookie. The other cookie is your session cookie, which when you sign into your WordPress website, that session is saved as an encryption piece as a cookie. And when you hit that website again, it looks in your browser storage and says, hey, we got a cookie here that says we've already been signed in. We don't have to sign in again until the cookie expires. And WordPress cookies for browser sessions expire about 2 weeks. About every 2 weeks they expire, give or take. So yeah, and they do track you. They leave bookmarks. They ask for information. They get personalized or semi-personalized information from your computer. In some aspects, some of them may be able to get personalized information depending on the security settings of your computer. I mean, cookies are both good and evil. Depends on how they're used. So yeah, cookies they used to be interesting and they used to be useful, and you can read them if you go into your storage. There's a spot where the cookies are stored. You can go in and read what those cookies are doing. Sometimes it's plain text. Other times it's just encrypted text. So
every time I think of cookies, I still remember this thing that you used to have on your computer where you had to feed it cookies.
The cookie virus.
Yes, the cookie virus, and chocolate chip cookies were its favorite.
Yes, I remember the cookie virus. That was back when viruses were written to be fun and not to damage the whole world.
Yeah.
That was back in the good old days of the internet. I said that was back in the days of the good old internet.
Hendian said, remember to edit robots.txt to disallow all but the main search bots and increase the crawl delay.
Yep. That helps too. That helps slow down the bots.
So I have one more question here. I'll read it
Okay.
out, then we can close out.
Okay.
How are algorithms built, and what do they link to?
Okay. Well, we'll come back to that one in a moment. I'm going to let my girl take us on out of here.
Reminders for the show. All show notes can be found at wppluginsaToZ.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A to Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsaToZ.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using wppluginsaToZ.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at WPPluginsA to Z. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
Alrighty then. So what do we got here? We got one last question. How are algorithms built, and what do they link to? Fuck if I know.
What I was meaning is like algorithms that you end up having appear on, like you go to your search engine, and you start searching for things, and the algorithm, I know that is what causes the search engine to start bringing up things that you have a history on. So what is it that it's linking to in your computer to read your history?
I have no idea. It's linking to the stored. You have a text file in your browser. There's a text file that stores all of your past searches and other things. You can wipe that clean. It's in the cache file.
Okay.
It's in the cache file. You can wipe it all clean if you want to from time to time. I don't, because I find that useful. But if you're talking about the algorithms themselves of the search engines, that's a mathematical formula. And I don't know exactly how it works. I have no idea. And they get better and better over time because they figure out more and more stuff as they learn more stuff. Basically, we've endowed computers with an artificial intelligence, which is growing all the time. And one day that intelligence may become sentient. And then we're hooped as humans.
Well, I mean, okay, you say it's a mathematical thing, but what is it in the sense that, is it like...
I honestly don't know. I've never gone down that deep rabbit hole. I've only peered over the edge and went, yeah, that's pretty deep. I'm not sure I want to dive in that one. Because there's a lot to it. Just the little bits that I know are insane. And, it can combine with whatever access it gains on your computer from your stored history in your computer. It can combine with the searching that they've collected the data over time that's been collected. Like when Google first started, they started with a couple of hundred hard drives, and now they have data centers.
Yeah.
Literal data centers of all of their data that they've been collecting over time. And there's no way a human can even run through that data fast enough. I mean, the computers have gotten faster and faster, so they've got computers doing it. So the algorithm is just the mathematics of telling the computer how to do things and what to look for. And it's just combined with everything.
Okay, another question about this. Does every computer have their own algorithm, or is it like just branches off of the main one, or
It's not a
how-
computer that has the algorithm. It's
Okay.
computer programs. Like Google, the Google search is a computer program.
Yeah.
It's a computer program. The algorithm is a mathematical formula input somewhere in the code to tell it what to do.
Okay, so if you were to search on DuckDuckGo and you were to search on Google and say on one you searched blue, the other one you searched pink, then on Google where you searched blue, it would just keep bringing up everything blue. And the one where you search pink, it would start bringing up everything pink. It's not actually connected to you.
that's right.
It's connected to whatever you're using.
Yes, it's connected to the search engine itself. That's why sometimes you search for something on DuckDuckGo, you can't find it. You go to Google, you can find it, because their algorithms are picking up different things to fit it. It's like I find sometimes, like one of the reasons Google got so good was there were search engines before Google. Everyone forgets them all. I can't even remember the names of them now. There were a dozen of them, but they were mostly just directories with keywords. They weren't an actual search engine. Google actually created a true search engine, because when Google first, because you couldn't find anything on the web, it was so hard to find the information, which is what's happened now. You can't find the information again. If someone could redesign a search engine now that would actually produce information again, they would crush Google in a matter of months.
Interesting.
Because people want to find the information they want when they want it. And when they search for it, they want it to pop up in the first few results of the page. But the problem is that the spammers and the search engine optimizers figured out how to game the algorithm. Because you can game the algorithm. They still game that algorithm. It can still be gamed. I've done it. I haven't done it recently. I think it was like 3 years ago. So it was the last time I gamed the algorithm on the internet to increase my own stats on my site. Was I gamed the algorithm. It can be gamed, and it's still gamed. Black hat SEO people still game the algorithm. They get caught eventually because the algorithm's constantly evolving and changing, so they discover how they've been gamed, and they change the algorithm so it can't use that exploit anymore. It's like playing a computer game that's got a glitch in it. At first, one or two people find the glitch and they use it massively to exploit and conquer everyone. But then somebody else notices it, and then somebody else notices, and then somebody with a big mouth notices it and tells the world. And this is basically what happens with search engines. The algorithm is not tied to your computer; it's tied to their search engine program, their particular search engine program. I mean, what do we have now? We have DuckDuckGo, we have Google, we have Bing. We have I can't remember the others. There's still, I think Ask is still out there. There's another new one that was mentioned on the No Agenda show, and I keep forgetting to send Adam an email and ask him. But it's a paid search engine. I mean, you have to pay $5 a month as a membership for this search engine. But according to Adam, it gives you results like Google used to give back in its beginning.
Oh, cool.
And it's been growing quite rapidly, but they're keeping it out of the news, because if it becomes mainstream, it'll crush Google in short order. And of course, Google makes zero money off of their search. I mean, all their money comes from the ads that show up in their search function.
Hemdian said the algorithm sits on the server and combines your search habits with general searching habits to predict what you might be interested in.
Oh, there's that too. I forgot about that. Go, keep reading.
But Amazon, YouTube, et al. Are constantly tweaking the algorithm to weigh different factors differently, so you never know for sure what's important. Apparently, Google are now treating mobile page load times as very important, even if you have a desktop site.
That's right. They keep putting different things in there, and they keep forcing people down different paths to comply with the search engine outputs. And I forgot about that. Is the algorithm, as I said, it's on their server. What they do with the cookies on your site, combine that with the cookies on your site and the information they get from your site, and also the fact that if you're signed into your Google account and you're doing searches on Google, that information is logged into your account at Google. every search you do is logged into the account. It doesn't matter whether you're active on a Google page, but the moment you're on a Google search, that information is logged into your account, and they see what you're searching for. That's why I keep messing with their algorithm for me, because I search for all kinds of random things. They have no idea what I want. because I have no straightforward habits. But somebody that's always looking for cat videos, they'll always get a heavy return towards cat videos for whatever they look for, because that's what the algorithms do. They try to tweak it to personalizations. Personalized search, it was called. I remember when they touted that personalized search, and then they had to stop thinking, well, how could they make it personalized unless they're collecting personalized data? So yeah, it's the algorithms in the same kind of thing. It's like I said, we've only peaked like a fingertip over that deep dark hole this is.
Huh. Maybe in a couple of months from now, I'll dive down that hole.
Yeah, dive down it, have fun. Make sure you toss down some ropes, carry a parachute, and a helicopter to get back up.
Yep.
All right, well, I think I'm going to wrap it there. Thanks for your input, Hemdium. We greatly appreciate it, as always. And I'm going to carry us out of here with some Days of Thunder.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread we're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
Alrighty, folks. That's all we got for you now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.